Well, hello, everyone. Hello, hello, and hello once again. I'm excited to bring to you another mini workshop. My name is Gregory Cox, and I am the author of the book Promising the Moon Going the Distance, a book where I released and I talked about some of my challenges. I talked about my failures as well as my successes. And so, why am I doing these mini workshops? Why? It's because I want you to win. I want you to be successful. And I just believe that when you tell your story can help monetize and increase your income. I just believe that. I honestly believe that. And not only do I believe that, I have witnessed that. And so I want to move on and I want to do another mini workshop, right? And so today, the question is once again, why should you tell your story? Why? Why should you tell your story? And so I want to present to you because it creates a brand. Your story creates a brand. Um, you can create a brand with your story and a title of your book. That's why you want to talk about your story and how your story can help someone else. And so I want to talk about branding today, but I want to give you some strategies, or I want to give you some benefits in branding your story. So here are the three things I'm going to talk about when we talk about branding. Number one, brand positioning. Number two, brand personality. And then number three, I want to talk about target audience. When you brand yourself or when you brand your story, you're going to need to know your target audience. And so let's get started with brand positioning. When I talk about brand positioning, I'm talking about establishing a position in the mind of a person. When you establish your brand, you establish your colors, you establish a position in someone's mind. Uh, Big companies are doing it all the time. Macy's, Nikes, they establish a brand and they establish a position in our mind. Right. So when we think about it, we think name brand. I'm going to leave that right there. And then the next one is when you're talking about brand positioning, you maximize the customer's relevancy, right? And so they reverence you. They look to you. You make a connection with them. You maximize the connection with them when you brand yourself, from the title of your book to the color of your book to the purpose and the theme of your book, of your story. You maximize the customer when you do that. And then number three, you have a unique impression on someone. And you want to make a great, unique impression on someone when you're talking about branding yourself and you're talking about brand positioning. You positioning yourself that when they see your colors or they see their brand, they know what to expect. That's why it's definitely good to have some integrity when you're putting things out, when you are talking and you are speaking about yourself or about your brand. That's important when we talk about brand positioning, meaning how are you going to position yourself in this time and in this era and in this place, right? So let's move to the next one. And so now let's talk about brand personality, meaning what is the characteristic of your brand? What is it that your brand is going to say to someone? Will you have a slogan with your brand, right? What would be the slogan with your brand? Meaning, what's the characteristics of your brand when you create something? Like my brand is pretty much deliverance and recovery, meaning that I went through some challenges, God set me free, delivered me, or I went through a 12-step program and I got in the process of recovery. And so that's my personal brand. I know that I'm an overachiever. I'm an overcomer. Um, um, I'm called to encourage people, to inspire people to be great. That's my personal brand. And so the next one is consumers can relate, meaning they need to be able to relate to your brand. I know that a lot of people can relate to my brand because a lot of us have had some changes, some challenges, some difficult times that you've overcame. You put yourself in position to make some things happen. And so when we talk about brand personality, the person or the consumer, they have to be able to relate to you, right? They have to be able to, when they come and purchase your product, they have to say, yes, this is good. Yes, I understand this. Yes, I can relate to this, right? And so when we talk about brand personality, your people have to be able to relate to you. They have to be able to relate to you. And then the next one, how you can stand out, right? And so when we talk about brand personality, how do you stand out of the crowd? Because no longer is everyone following the crowd. I think right now is to be unique. You get more attention and more credibility being unique than you do following someone or being like someone or trying to be like someone or trying to be like everybody else is doing. So it's risky in being unique because you got to stand out by yourself. So the question becomes, when you create your brand, what do your brand say, not only about you, but how do it stand out from others, right? Because people want to see that you have the courage and the boldness to stand out and be okay with it and just be okay. And some people are attracted to that. People being unique, they have their own style, they have their own swag, right? So people are attracted to that as well. So don't get tricked in thinking that we have to always follow someone else or we have to always follow the crowd. Individual love to see people stand out, right? And so the next one, this is a good one. When you talk about branding yourself, when you talk about branding your story, the question becomes, is who's your target audience? Who's your target audience? Who are the people that you're going to target once you release your book, once you tell your story? Is it 2 and 3 groups of people? Let me just give you a nugget. When I wrote my book and I laid out the names of my chapters, I titled my chapters so that I can market certain different groups. So in my chapters, I targeted certain audience. Why? Because I wanted to be able to have different audience call me to come to speak. And so I had a chapter in the book that was laid out just for them. Okay, all right. Okay. So let's go on. All right. Your target audience should be a specific group of people or groups of people. Your target audience. And then let's talk about the demographics. Are the older members? Are the younger members? Um, 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 where are they located at? What age are the people that you're reaching? Are they young adults? Are they older adults? Are they just women or are they just men? Who's your target audience, right? You want to do a demographic check when you begin to write your story and you begin to tell your story and you begin to brand yourself. And then let's do the next one. People are interested in your product. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They want what you have to offer. But if you never develop it, you never create your brand, you never tell your story, then the question becomes, is how do they find you? And one of the things I found out too is when you create a brand, you partner with other people who have a different skill set to help you continue to further your brand, but then you're also helping them push their brand or their expertise. We're talking about partnership. And so when you begin to target certain people, target some people that's going to need you to help them, and then vice versa. You're going to be able to help them, right? And so I wanted to make sure that I talk about a few things that you need to know when we talk about why it's important to tell your story. It's because you can create a brand. Yes, you can. You can create colors. You can create a T-shirt. You can create a 30-day devotion. You can create a workbook from one book. I did all of this with one book. And one of the things about creating a brand and writing your story is that it become a business. So if you thought about, okay, I want to open up a business, then, okay, tell your story. Talk about some of the challenges that you've had or that you've overcame. Talk about some of the experiences that you've had working for a company for 5, 10, and 15 years. That's good stuff. That's good educational stuff, right? And so I wanted to give you guys that piece. So also remember, click the link and make sure that you go subscribe for the Gregory Cox Academy, because very soon I'll be rolling out the online course, Check Your Baggages, Book Your Truth. And it's an online course to help you write your story, tell your story, and organize your story so that you can be successful and you can, for number one, increase your income. You can start branding yourself. All right. So I'm excited. Also, make sure you go to the YouTube channel. That's Cox Live Talk. Cox Live Talk on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I want to make sure that I give you as much information as I can. So thank you for clicking the link, and thank you for listening to this whole workshop. This is a mini workshop, and be looking for them from me as much as possible.